Yo, what's good, YouTube? This is Jay from TNJ, and welcome to the Nashville Stars franchise. Last episode, we traded for some big cornerstone pieces in James Wood and Kurt Zambrano. Hopefully both of those guys pan out. In this game, it's very fun because you can trade for these big time, prospects, and they may not even turn out. But I'm hoping those two do. We have some interesting guys around our organization. I think guys like Jimmy Sandoval are interesting. Third round pick last year. He is a very good player. Justin Faith is another middle infield prospect of ours. And we are thinking about moving on from Miguel Rojas. And then there's Tyson King, who was supposed to be at the MLB level this year, but has just not panned out. So we moved him down to Double-A just to get him some more work, and he's starting to develop a little bit there. One guy I want to highlight here is Brian Lacker, a guy that is actually progressing quite well and actually has went up in potential. Now he's at 80 potential. So based on his performance, his potential just naturally goes up. That is pretty awesome. Then our pitching staff, we have some interesting pitching prospects behind the veteran David Price, obviously signed a 1-year deal with us. And one thing I'm going to do is, like I said in a couple of videos ago, I'm going to allow Troy Quincy, our rookie pitcher, to adopt one of the pitchers that David Price has. So he will take on that sinker. I will make it the exact ratings as what David Price has, and then he can get better from there. So that's kind of how we will do it here. This will be his fourth pitch, that sinker. I'm excited for the future of Troy Quincy. One guy I do want to move up is Justin Wood. I just want to start moving guys up and seeing what they have. He has an OPS over 850, hitting over 300 at AAA, and I want to see what he's got. He's 27 years old. I'm going to start to move some guys up just to see what they have. I mean, we have about, 3 months left of the season, so I definitely want to, check it out, see what they got, and see what we have in some of these prospects. Are they ever going to pan out? Obviously, their overalls are lower, so you got to take it with a grain of salt, but let's check out Justin Wood. His first at-bat is going to be a liner to first base as we take on the Tampa Bay Rays here at home. He will hit down in the lineup at the 6th spot as it brings up his second at-bat. A good pitch over the middle, and he gets good wood on it. He has contact versus left at 86, so I figured that would be the perfect matchup to have him in the lineup. As here he faces Peter Fairbanks, and he gets his first hit to the right side. That one will be a single for his first major league hit here. And I'm looking for guys that not only are going to be, big time pieces at the MLB level, but also depth guys. It is important to have depth. You never know when you'll have injury. Here he is swiping second. I wanted to see if he can, run a little bit, and there's his first stolen bag of his career. You see he got a good jump right there. He's not the fastest, but gets a pretty good jump. He has a good steal rating. On to the 9th inning now for his fourth at-bat. This one will be a ground ball, and that one will actually end the game. We end up losing this one 5-2 to the Rays. But an interesting piece right there. Like I said, I moved up Michael Rock last year. He is one of those depth guys also. He was D potential at the time. I moved his potential up to a C. But I need to figure out who's going to be those depth guys as well when we build this MLB roster. So now we go into another matchup versus the Tampa Bay Rays. I wanted to see if I can get Troy Quincy his 10th win of the season, as he is 9-5 right now, and he is pitching pretty well, giving up 1 run so far. Now we're on to the 8th inning. He is still on the mound. I decided to go to the bullpen, bringing Cody Stajic out of the pen. And he comes in, gives up a couple of base runners, so I decide to put in Jose Ruiz, and he shuts it down. Troy Quincy will end up with his 10th win on the year. We win this one 3-2 in Nashville. 7 strikeouts for him. He did give up 7 hits, though, but still gets the win. So one guy I do want to look at closer here in this episode, and a lot of guys, I just want to start it's not exactly player lock, but I want to start, evaluating these guys individually and seeing what they have and seeing, what type of players they will be. Kendrick Franklin Cole is one of those outfielders that I think is going to be an excellent hitter. He's one of the guys that's going into next year that will be penciled in as a starter. And then there's Colin Ozuna. Now, remember Colin Ozuna last season was one of those minor leaguer minor league busts of the year. I might come up with a better name for those players, but he was one of the guys that struggled and he went down in potential because of it. But this year he's actually doing pretty well, hitting .240 at the MLB level after moving up from AAA. Here's KFC at the plate facing the Chicago White Sox, and he unloads on that pitch. That's going to be a double. The ball, like I said, just jumps off of his bat. He was hitting 280s, upper 280s before I moved him up, lower 290s, and he is definitely a bat that I am excited about at the MLB level. He and James Wood are definitely going to be those big bats in the outfield. Here is Ozuna up to the plate now. He hits a chopper up the middle, following up KFC. We will try to send the runner home. The throw is going to be on line, but not in time. Kendrick Franklin Cole scores from second, and Colin Ozuna has a 2 RBI double. 3-0 game here as we move on to the bottom of the 5th inning. Here is KFC again. He hits one to the right side, and that one gets through. Another RBI for him. And it's going to be 4-0 here in the bottom of the 5th inning. And that will bring up Colin Ozuna, who is hitting in that 7th spot, 1 for 2 today with that RBI double earlier. And the 1-2 pitch will be hit down the right field line, and it drops in. It's going to score 1. Ozuna will get to second. KFC will get to third. And it is a 5-0 game. Good piece of hitting by Ozuna, at least just waiting back on it, going and taking that one to right field. And I like what I see from these young guys. Here's KFC again now, hitting in this 5 spot. He hits a fly ball to right field. This one will be caught as Kenta Maeda is on the mound for the Chicago White Sox. That brings up Ozuna now, 2 for 3 today. He gets one over the middle, and that one is gone. How about Colin Ozuna? He has a little bit of power to him, and that one was just right over the middle. You couldn't have missed that one. He takes advantage, though, and he salutes it goodbye. And that's going to make it a big time lead here for the Nashville Stars. We end up winning this game 8-0. White Sox only get 3 hits today off of Kohei Arihara. In a good way here to come off of the All-Star break with a couple of big wins. We do get a couple of trade offers. The trade deadline has not yet come, and it looks like the Phillies are offering us Charlie Blackmon. Why would we ever take this, though? $18 million taking that on. The Rangers offer us another trade offer for Fuentes. They're offering Cole Calhoun, another old player. Why are these teams offering us these old players? He is 35 years old. And then the Blue Jays, one more at the end of the month, and they offer another older player in A.J. Pollock, who is good but old. It's 35 years old. $12 million. No reason to take this on unless they're giving us a prospect. So, going into this episode, a lot of you guys said that we should probably deal Miguel Rojas, get him to a contender. I want to be realistic with these trades. I'm not going to just trade for a bunch of 8 potential prospects. I want to keep this realistic. And obviously, a couple of episodes ago, who I was interested in was Victor Mesa Jr., but he is actually injured at this point with a torn calf. And kind of how this game works, you cannot trade for players that are hurt. As you can see, the trade feedback, our injury situation is forcing us to hold off on making a deal. So we cannot even trade the Marlins if we wanted to. So we're going to have to go a different direction. I used the trade finder to just see what they would yield. And man, look at these offers. And like I said, I'm going to be realistic. There are a couple of 8 potential guys that are offered, like Royce Lewis. This would kind of be unrealistic. There would be no reason for the Twins to trade Royce Lewis for Miguel Rojas and Josh Fuentes. That would make 0 sense. And then trading a Cespedes, 24-year-old prospect. So I'm going to try to get a realistic guy here, a guy that makes sense for us. We're not going to just get any prospect. I want to get a guy that's actually going to contribute at some capacity. I go to the Diamondbacks and look at Bryce Jarvis. He is a 25-year-old prospect. I believe he is the number 7 prospect in the Diamondbacks organization. I believe he was drafted in the first round in 2018. I think my year could be off there. But he is decent. You know, one thing I like about him is that he has started 20 games and he has 13 quality starts. That is my favorite stat. from him, and I would say his ratings are okay right now, but we will have time to develop him. And looking at his WAR, he has a 2.1 WAR. And I kind of like this trade right here. You know, we're trading 2 older veterans for a Diamondbacks team who is trying to compete for a wild card spot. So why not do this and give them a good bat and another decent bat off of the bench, and we will execute that trade. So who do we bring up in place of Miguel Rojas? Justin Faith is at AA. He is a decent prospect of ours. He's now at 71 overall. Tyson King, still not developing like I would want him to. He has a big bat, but the numbers, I think he just needs some more work down here. I don't think there's any rush to bring him up. Shea Whitcomb could play third for now, or he can move over to second base as John Dumont is our shortstop. So I decided to go another route and go after Buddha Bless, who is at AAA hitting 286. He was doing pretty well in a few at-bats. He hit excellent at AA. I moved him up to AAA, and he did not miss a beat. So I'm going to move him up while he's still doing well and see what he has. Like I said, I want to start moving up these young guys and seeing what they can do at the MLB level, because it's about trial period at this point. I mean, we are still rebuilding, and who is going to be those, like I said, depth pieces? I don't know if he will be a starter, but his attributes actually are pretty good. He's got a good arm. He's not a runner at all, but he has good contact ratings, and he's a switch hitter. So here's his first at-bat here at the MLB level. He is hitting in the 7th spot as he faces Thomas Farr for his first AB. This one will be a good pitch to hit, but he just flies this one out to center field. And we are taking on the Rays, who are also in a rebuilding phase now. 2-1 here in Nashville. Men on first and second. No outs, and he flies out again, this time to left field. Now, he has 81 contact versus right. I want to put these guys in the best opportunity to succeed, so I'm not going to put them versus a pitcher that throws the opposite hand that they are good at. So I wanted to kind of hit him versus a righty right away instead of a lefty. But he is 0 for 3 so far. His 4th at-bat comes in the 9th inning, and he will swing and miss at a high fastball, 97 mile an hour, and he will end this game off of that strikeout. A 0 for 4 debut from Buddha Bless. Not a good episode for debuts here. Justin Wood was he went 1 for 4, but 1 for 4 isn't amazing, and then Buddha Bless goes 0 for 4. So now we hop into another matchup versus the Rangers, and I want to make sure I have some good ABs of Buddha Bless. Here is a ground ball to the right side, but we just cannot get going so far with him. Facing the Rangers here on the road, facing Dane Dunning. Inside cutter, strike 3. The timing was off on that one, and it was a bit out of the zone. 0 for 2 so far as he comes up with his 3rd at-bat. This one he finally gets good one on. This one will be hit to right center for his first user-controlled hit at least. So at least we get 1 hit out of Buddha Bless in this episode as he's on first base. He's a guy, like I said, who's got good attributes. I want him to be a better fielder in order to be I would say a competitive third baseman, but I like his arm. 4th at-bat, fastball high in the zone. That's a strike 3. A little antsy on that one. Now he gets 1 more at-bat in the 8th inning as we are up 5-0, and he goes to the left side. That one is a hit. 2 for 5 today. That's not bad. I'll take it. And Buddha Bless, one of those guys that maybe will be a good depth piece. How about 1 more at bat in this one? Here in the top of the 9th, Nashville is doing excellent here on offense, and he gets a pitch to hit. This one's driven deep to right center. 3 for 6 on the day. He rounds first, heads to second with 39 speed, not a plus runner. He makes it there, and I like what I see from Bless. His first double of his career. Nashville gets the win in this one. We have a lot of young guys coming up. We'll have to start evaluating all of them, to be honest with you. I don't want to use spring training as a measuring stick all the time, because spring training doesn't tell the entire story. It tells about half the story. Because like I said, we saw Dominic Smith, for example, who was terrible in spring. Then he started out the season tearing the cover off the ball. So things like that they will happen in spring. So I kind of want to do this in season also. I want to pivot a little bit to the guy that is still young, Ryan Mountcastle at 26 years old, but a guy we paid to pretty much be our best player. $10 million a year for 4 seasons. That will pay him until age 30. I'm going to kind of stick with this unless something else presents itself. I'm not going to, trade his contract year 1 and see like if we can flip him for something else. I'm going to kind of stick it out with him. We paid him, so we had to honor that contract as much as he does. But who knows if we get to year like 3 of the contract and he doesn't really perform that well, but he's still got time. He's hitting about 246. So we will see what he does today. As we check out Troy Quincy on the mound again, I'm covering Troy Quincy a lot because he is pretty much going to be our future ace. The way he is developing is amazing. And today he faces the Nationals, a team that is pretty much struggling. So I want to get a good outing out of him. Here he is facing a tough top of the order, but the rest of the order is not good. Here's Juan Soto, and he hits one up the box. That's fielded cleanly by Quincy, and a ground ball out 1-2-3 inning for Quincy. Odubel Herrera is one of the best guys in the organization right now. He is obviously our star player. He is the highest on the team with OPS. He is one of our only guys over 800 OPS, and he is an absolute baller. As that brings up Mountcastle, who hits one up the middle. That is a hit. So back-to-back hits for Herrera and Mountcastle. Here comes KFC to the plate. His average is down to 238. He gets a good pitch to hit and turns on it, but it's just a lazy fly ball to left field. He can't do anything with that AB. Quincy still on the bump here in the second inning. He gives up a deep fly ball to left field. This one gets over the head of Herrera, and Luis Garcia will start out the second with a double. But Quincy does settle down with the strikeout. Here comes Ruiz up with 1 out, and Keibert Ruiz will ground out to first base. 2 outs. Nick Banks at the plate, hitting 259, and he will swing and miss. Such a good strikeout pitcher. I did not expect this at all from Quincy coming into this season. As we move on to the 5th inning, here is Shea Wickham at the plate. He hits one well to right center. This one's got carry. This one stays in the yard. Would have scored Colin Ozuna, and it's going to be a ground rule double. Odubel Herrera at the plate now, 1 for 2 today. He gets a hanger. This one's hit deep to right field. This one is going to carry all the way to the wall. It will score 1 for sure. We will send the runner from second, and the throw to Herrera at third will be offline. The third baseman could not field that one cleanly, and it's going to be a 2 RBI triple by Odubel Herrera. Herrera is one of those guys that I think is going to be the mentor on this team, which I will do next episode with the wheel and everything. Last year was Rojas. This year's going to be Herrera. That brings up Mountcastle to the plate. He smokes one down the left field line. That's going to bring in Herrera, and it's going to be 3-0 here at home. Washington is the second worst team in the MLB as far as record this year, so I wanted to kind of get a easier game here to get our bats going. KFC comes to the plate now. Low and outside pitch will just be a ground ball to second base. 2 outs as that brings up John Dumont. He walks as well. That one is out of the zone. Bringing up Buddha Bless, who went 3 for 6 in that last outing we had. He gets a pitch to hit. Will this get down in short center field? It won't. It will be run down. And the 3-0 lead continues on to the top of the 6th inning. Here's Troy Quincy still on the mound, and he nails the corner with men on the corners there. And wow, gets him looking. A favorable call, I think, from the ump. But nonetheless, he nails it. Keibert Ruiz up to the plate now with 2 outs. Chopper to third, and a good play by Buddha Bless playing third today. He's got good reaction and fielding. Actually, he has good arm and arm accuracy. His fielding and reaction aren't that good, so that was a good play from him. That brings up Herrera now in the 7th inning, and he absolutely smokes one. Make it a 3 for 4 day for Odubel Herrera. The guy can absolutely rake. I can't wait to see what ratings he gives to the young players in our organization as the mentor. And this year I'm going to do it for all of the division teams, so I'll do it for the Jays, the Rays, and then also the Red Sox and Yankees. It's 7-0 today. Colin Ozuna to the plate now, 1 for 3 in this game. He gets good wood on this one. This one is deep to right field. It's going to be Soto giving chase, and he can't get his glove up there. It's a home run. Make it 10-0. Colin Ozuna showing what he can do. He is hitting in that leadoff spot today. John Dumont has been struggling. I have moved him down in the order to about the 7 spot. And Colin Ozuna has pretty much assumed that leadoff role here on this team, as Herrera can't make it a 4-hit day. But we get a big-time victory here versus the Nationals. Troy Quincy, another shutout, another great outing. 10 strikeouts, 5 hits, 2 walks. I mean, the guy is amazing. But Herrera and Mountcastle went 4 for 5 in this game. And then Herrera went 3 for 5 as well. So you can just see after the trade deadline, we actually start out putting up some good offensive numbers. This is where we have struggled, and we have struggled to put runs across the plate. And we are actually scoring runs. 50 and 66, 16 games below 500. I at least want to top our win total from last season. I actually forgot what it was, but I want to top that number. I will check that a little later. Our team is doing okay. Like, I would say that some of our young guys are surprising. Like, Ozuna is definitely very surprising. I like what he does. He can run well. He's got 87 speed, and he also has some power with his bat, as you can see in this episode. And then our pitching staff has always been doing fine. I have no complaints. Obviously, you have guys that are struggling, guys that have a high ERA, have a high whip. But I am very, very happy with the progression of our young pitchers. So going into the next episode, I think I'm going to highlight some of our prospects more. And if our AAA or AA team gets to the playoffs, I will highlight that and check those guys out coming up in the organization. So that's going to do it today. I hope you guys enjoyed today's episode. And let me know what you guys think of the Rojas trade and getting a prospect back. Hit subscribe, hit that like button. Stay tuned. Let's get it. Let's go.